In this video, we're going to be taking a deep dive look into a particular market and seeing exactly how we do market research and if there still is profitability even during COVID-19. So stay tuned. Vacation Rental Machine helps hosts just like you learn how to start, grow, and scale your short-term rental business. This show is all about creating systems that help you automate your business, giving you more time and money freedom. If you're ready to start living the vacation rental life, then subscribe to this podcast today. Come and join us on our Facebook group, The Host Nation, where we'll be talking about starting, automating, and scaling a short-term rental business. Now, on to the show. Hey, welcome back, Host Nation, to another episode of Vacation Rental Machine. I'm Julian Sage with John Bell, and we are continuing on. Since the last episode, we were looking at the data that is available and finding out exactly what makes a market as recovering. What are the things that we should be looking for as operators and investors? If you want to check out that video, then you can click the link in the description box where you can watch that video that we were just talking about. But in this video, we are going to be taking a deep look into a market, doing market research, property analysis, and finding exactly out how much you will be able to profit if you are using a master lease or even a co-host model of investing. So John, if you wouldn't mind sharing your screen and showing us a market that we are going to be analyzing.
All right, Julian, just like we started the other one, in honor of my pink flamingos, we're going to Florida, and we just happened to land on Panama City, Florida. I've never been myself, but it looks like a place that is looking like a good option for a lot of investors to kind of go down and acquire some beachfront property. I feel like beachfront property at this point, everybody's so pent up. They want to get out and go somewhere. And normally that means the beach is the outlet. So let's look at some of their rental prices and figure out how much profit they actually could be making if they were to go out and do either a master lease or maybe somebody that's already there can pick up somebody to co-host the property with them. So let's head on over to Airbnb. I'm choosing Airbnb for this demonstration, although I didn't look into the market to see whether Airbnb or HomeAway is going to be the better booking source. However, typically Airbnb is the cheapest source to get booked. So that's why we're focusing on Airbnb. I just went ahead and put in Panama City, Florida, and looking for 8 guests. And this is what pops up on the screen. So let's just take a look at some of the offerings itself, what we see. And what we see is pretty strong nightly rates. We see some that are $120 and pretty much above. I can tell that this one might be blocked. It doesn't look like it's really available. It's just showing up. All right, let's take a look at this listing right here. It is Coral Dream Retreat, public pool, 9 minutes away from the beach. Already sounds pretty interesting. And one of the things that I wanted to check is the availability that's on the calendar so we can see that, hey, either they're available or booked, just so we can make sure that they have something. And what we see is there are a few dates that are available to book. So this is exactly what we're looking for as far as looking for something that is trying to recover or some occupancy is actually going in to this place. So this is really good. There's some available dates. And if I just were to go and select a few dates. One thing we noticed, there is a 3-night minimum. This is really good because it just helps drive that revenue. And if I select 3 nights, this nightly rate goes up to $282 for July. Very good. We also see that they offer 2 rates, a non-refundable rate and a refundable rate. This is an option that you have within Airbnb. You can turn it on and off if you'd like. I can't say that one drives bookings a little further or not, but because of COVID-19, this might be a good option to kind of spread and just have people book for cheaper. And if they need to cancel, they can cancel, but they won't get anything back. It's already pre-decided that they booked a non-refundable rate. All right. So taking a look at this listing as far as size, we see that they can sleep 10 guests. They have 3 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. And looking at the photos, looks like a regular townhome. Like they said in the description, it has a pool. Looks like it has a wooded view in the rear. And as we see some of the bedrooms, they did kind of cram an extra bed. But this is Florida. People are really looking to go to the beach. So I'm sure nobody minds that somebody is right next to them. Dining room looks pretty pretty decent. It's got comfortable workspace, and they have the layout of the entire place, which just is really good to see what space you have. And it looks like they also provided some pictures of the surrounding areas and things that you could be doing if you selected this place to stay. What I didn't notice is any photos of the kitchen or anything that way. So maybe this person, whoever this is, if you're a listener of ours, you definitely need to add some more photos because I don't see anything about the kitchen itself. And this is an entire place listing. All right. So, what does this place cost for us to rent? Well, let's go over to Zillow, where I already pre opened up a page and I kind of got into this generic area. And I went and I put in, let's change this around. That was a 3-bedroom, 2 baths. Was that right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I put that into our search here. And what I'm looking for is stuff within this region. I did see this one a little earlier. This is $2,500. Let me tell you how bad this is. Here in DC, we pay $2,500 or more for a 1-bedroom apartment, 700 square feet or less. This is 2,443 square feet. That's huge, right? Huge. So 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, very comparable to the other listing. We've seen that this listing for those dates further out was going for $282 for the 3 days that I picked. I mean, I don't need to really do too much math, but I mean, this is $2,500. I mean, they were pretty much booked, pretty solid for this month and the next month. And just to see what they go out for a date on Friday, I'm expecting to see 218. So $200, let's just say a night. All right, let's work in some simple math. Now that we have the rental amount, we also have what the going rate is for this particular listing, which is very similar to this home. We can verify that just by looking at some of the photos. Granted, we didn't see the kitchen of the other listing, but the styling of the home, I would assume that it looks similar to this. This looks like brand new appliances, maybe an updated kitchen. This would be a great place just to rent. If you're in the area, it is so cheap. And I think I see a pool. There's a pool. I'm sold. $2,500 with my own personal pool. And it's nice. With the garage. Yeah, great place. Julian, you would stay here.
Thank you, John.
All right, I'm going to switch my screen over to a calculator. All right, got my calculator up. You guys should just see the tape from the calculator. So, Julian, we've seen roughly on average $200 a night. And let's just say they're able to pull in only that times 21 days or around 70%-ish. That is $4,200 minus our rent of $2,500 and maybe some utilities. We're just going to go a little bit high. We're going to say $450, and that still puts us at $1,250 in profit during COVID-19 when we're not expecting the highest numbers that we could get. I would say this information, these numbers for the right person, they should be jumping at something like this because I can make money in the downturn. Yes. What can you make in the upturn? You're probably going to kill it. How could you kill it? Let's run that. Instead of $200 a night, maybe we're able to charge $350 a night. We'll keep that same occupancy rate. So we'll multiply this by 21. That brings in $7,350. But guess what? Your other expenses stay the same, minus $2,500. All right. That's before you start paying your other stuff, your utilities, maybe some people that go and maybe have some maintenance, like I said. So minus another $450. and that puts you at $4,400 in the green. You should be able to withstand any seasonality that comes about the winter time if you collect that amount a month. Rental arbitrage is not dead. Co-hosting is not dead. We all should be jumping at the bits to grab these cheaper properties. Definitely take a hold of all the people that will be vacating some apartments, some homes, just because of COVID-19 and the impact that it has. But yes, the confidence in travel is starting to pick up. It's a good time to switch gears and pounce on opportunity.
Now, this was just a very light touch on a random property that we found. You can go into any market, though, and if the numbers make sense, then the numbers make sense. You can't fight what the numbers are. There are other variables, though, to be able to help mitigate risk, and that would be things like identifying if there is a way to be able to get medium-term guests. Again, like John mentioned with seasonality, how bad does it get during certain seasons in particular areas? Like we know up north, like in the northern area where it snows, you're going to be very seasonal, it being summer, and then during the winter months, it could be a lot slower. But again, you just have to take your profit and then be able to manage that out and be able to that spread that income that you were making during those high seasons to be able to withstand the storm. We've seen a lot of hosts get burnt because they weren't mitigating their risk and managing their portfolio. But if you want to be able to find out more about risk mitigation strategies and the way that short-term rental operators are able to operate within a wide spectrum to be able to handle any type of market conditions, then John and I have created a special masterclass where we're going to be going over and breaking down exactly the different concepts called RCB investing, the 4 pillars of recession resistance, as well as our 10-step VRM formula checklist. If you're just starting off or you are scaling, this checklist that will be given to you and we'll be going over in this presentation, you definitely want to do that as well. But John, I think that this is a very good example of a market such as Florida that we were just looking at on the rental recovery index in the last video as showing that it wasn't exactly where we wanted it to be. But even with it not being fully recovered and occupancy being at the highest percentage, we still are able to pull in a decent income, even while maintaining a 70% occupancy at 21%. There's more factors that come into play when you are analyzing a deal and trying to make sure that you are getting a sound investment. But this is just a very good idea that if you are interested in a particular market, these are some of the numbers that you want to be looking at. 1,000 plus is a very safe bet that gives you enough wiggle room in case you do need to lower or increase that net income price. So question of the day, are you looking into different markets? What are the markets that you are interested in? Leave your comments in the comment section down below, and maybe we can start doing more market research videos. If you guys are engaging with this video, being sure to hit that thumbs up button. Let us know that you enjoy this content. And again, comment down below which markets you'd like us to be able to take a look at, and maybe we can do this as a reoccurring thing where we can actually dive into markets that you send us and see if there is profitability there. And until next time, Host Nation, keep on hosting. If you'd like John and I to answer your guys' questions, then be sure to go to the Host Nation Facebook group and use hashtag AskVRM. Hope you hosts found value in this episode. If you did, please go on over to iTunes and leave us a review, as that would greatly support the show. If you'd like to connect with John, the community, and I, then go on over to our Facebook group, the Host Nation. Talk to you hosts in the next episode. Keep on hosting.